Speciation is the process by which one species splits into two or more distinct species. Reproductive isolation is the most important factor in long-term isolation of sexually reproductive linkage. It is a state in which two groups of organisms are no longer able to exchange genes. There are two different types of isolation, allotropic and sympatric speciation. Allotropic speciation is when two species are divided by a physical barrier. It is the dominant mode of speciation. An example would be two mountain ranges divided by a body of water. Sympatric speciation occurs without physical barriers. It may occur with some forms of disruptive selection. For example, a species of flies first to mate on hawthorn trees, but after the introduction of the apple tree in that area, some of the flies migrated to that tree, and they started to prefer the apple tree over the hawthorn tree. Thus, one new species formed. Isolations are placed in order to keep different species from forming hybrids. Prezygotic isolation prevents hybrids before fertilization. Postzygotic isolation selects against hybridization after fertilization. This leads to the reinforcement of pre-mechanisms. There are several types of prozygotic isolation. Mechanical isolation is a difference in size and shape of reproductive organs, which prevents fertilization because it's not physically possible. For instance, two very different sizes of frogs can't mate because of the different size of reproductive organs.
Temporal isolation is when two species have different mating seasons. This is isolation due to population groups reproducing at different times. Because of this, they are never able to mate. For example, the American toad mates in early summer, whereas the fowlers mate in late summer, thus no hybridization. Behavioral isolation is when species reject or fail to recognize other species because of behaviors such as mating calls. For example, the different colors or positions displayed by flowers attract different pollinators. In an environment that contains various habitats for significantly small organisms, these habitats can be seen as worlds apart, which can lead to no contact between the two populations. This is known as habitat isolation. For an example of such is the cyclic fishes of Lake Malawi. One population lives in a sandy environment while the others live in a rocky environment. Gametic isolation is when the sperm and egg are not compatible. This is due to chemicals or sperm too weak to penetrate. It's extremely important for aquatic animals. Postzygotic isolation acts after production of a hybrid zygote. There are three types of postzygotic isolation: low hybrid zygote viability, low adult viability, and hybrid infertility. Low hybrid zygote viability is when the zygote dies at premature age. Low hybrid adult viability is when hybrid offspring have lower survivorship than low hybrid offspring. Hybrid infertility is when adults cannot reproduce.